Hi, my name is Heather, and welcome to another episode of Season 2 of Cover to Cover Canva Edition, my series where I share my process with you creating a children's book using Canva elements. Before we start, I want to mention that I do not yet have a project for Season 3 of this series. So if you have a story and you don't have pictures for it yet, and you want to be considered for Season 3, then just send me an email at heather@heathercash.com and include your story, and you will be considered for the next season. Now, let's get on to the video. I'll include my copyright reminder here. And remember, this isn't a tutorial, it's just me sharing my process with you. So if you'd like more step-by-step instructions, then check out the videos that I'll link in the description. Last episode, we did the scene where the kids are showing up to school and they're putting their stuff in their cubbies. So the next page says there were books on a shelf and a table with sand. When we had something to say, we must first raise our hand. So let's create a scene with books on a shelf and a sand table, and maybe just a kid raising his hand, or maybe even Joey raising his hand. So first, I'm just going to copy the background over. So I'm going to go up here and I'll grab the floor and I'll just do Command C or Control C on Windows to copy, and then Command V or Control V on Windows to paste. And then I'll just copy the background color. Now let's add a bookshelf. Ooh, this is cute. I like that it has a little globe on it and a little plant. And let's see if we can figure out this sand table. This is kind of perfect. So we could use this and then just add legs to it. Let's just make the legs using shapes. I think that's going to be the easiest thing. So I'm going to go to Elements and Shapes. I'll grab one of these guys, parallelogram. I'm going to rotate it, pull it up, and I'm going to make it really skinny. We want the angle to match the angle on the table. This looks pretty good. That way the perspective will look right. We're going to need another one that's the opposite so that it looks like the two sides of the leg. So now I'm going to grab the other one and I'll rotate this one this way and I'll make it longer. So that way it looks kind of like a cube. I am going to make this one the darker color, and then I'll make this one the lighter color. I'll just take these two and I'll group them. And we'll put it like that, and then I'll just put one at each corner. And then I'm going to bring the sandbox above. We can have Joey raising his hand. So I'll grab him, put him here. Let's take the backpack out. And let's find him another body. So I'm going to go to Elements and Recently Used. And I'll go to this little guy, View Collection. And let's see if there's one where he's raising his hand. This one, he is raising his hand. His legs are a little weird, but we can just keep these same legs. I'm going to edit the colors to match the colors of Joey. Now we need to crop his head off, but as you can see, if we were to try to crop it, then we would also crop his arm. So I'm going to show you a really neat solution to this, where you need to do a more advanced crop than just a rectangle. If you look at the Canva apps, there's an app called Choppy Crop, and this is amazing because you can basically just cut out, like you're cutting with scissors, exactly what shape you need. And you can see that, like, if I click on this bookcase, then it comes up in the editor and I'd be able to crop it however I need to. But when I click on Joey, it doesn't come up here. And if that happens, if it doesn't come up in Choppy Crop, then that means that it's vector. And we just need to convert it to raster. And there's a really easy way to do this using another app. I'm going to click the Add Page button, so I just have a blank page here. And I'm going to change the background to white. And then I'm going to copy Joey and paste him here. And I'm just going to make him as big as the page. And I'm going to use the design to image app. And this is going to convert it to an actual image that you'll be able to use in Choppy Crop. So I'm going to click convert to image, and I'll click transparent background, and I'm going to pick only the current page and export. So now if I just delete this page, I can just drag Joey in, and here is our new Joey that is not vector. So I'm going to delete the vector one, and I'll just use this one. And now I can go back to Choppy Crop, and as long as I have him selected, you'll see that he comes up in the editor. So now I can just click however I want to cut him out. And this is really a game changer when it comes to manipulating elements in Canva. And after you do it, you can even move some of the points around if you need to. Now I'm going to scroll down and click Add to Design. And I'm going to come over here and I'll crop out his hands. Although we actually can't really crop out this one all the way. So let's grab pants from a different one of these poses. So I'm just going to change the pants color to be that same dark blue. And then I'll just crop him. And I'll delete those pants. Move this shirt over. I'll move his head down. And then let's just bring his race car shirt to the front. Maybe I'll also grab this girl and have her at the sand table with him. Although we should see if we have any other poses for that girl. So I'm going to go to Elements and go to my recently used and scroll down and find that girl. And I'll do View Collection. Ooh, we do have a lot of her. Good. So let's use one of those so that way it's not too repetitive. It almost looks like maybe she has an idea and wants to say something, and then Joey's like, let's raise our hand. And then maybe just to add a little something, we can maybe put some of the little sand toys on the ground too, so that it doesn't look so sparse. I wonder if I can search for sand toys. Oh yeah, these are good. We have a little bucket. This little rake is cool. I'll make it a different color so it's not blue against blue. And maybe a little sand pile, like they spilled some sand. And I'll change the color to make it match the sand that is already in the sandbox. One other thing is we do need to add shadows. And notice that when I do find a shadow, it is very dark. You do not want to leave it that dark because it doesn't look natural. We need to lighten it. So I'll go to the transparency and I'll just lighten it. And then for something like this sand that is very close to the ground, we want the shadow to be like tighter. So I make it smaller and then I'll just do multiples of it. This still feels a little bit dark, so I'm going to bring it down even more. And you always want to make sure your shadow is behind the object. So we don't want it in front. I'm going to put it behind. And then for the sand table, we can maybe search for like triangle shadow, and then we can do half on one side and half on the other. So this looks perfect right there. And then I can just crop it so it only goes to here. And then I'll just move it underneath everything. And I'm going to bring the transparency down. And then now just duplicate it and bring it to the other side. I think that looks good. Let's go ahead and do the next page as well. This one says we will have show and tell where we can bring in some toys and share them with all of the girls and the boys. For this one, I definitely think like a circle of kids because that's how I remember show and tell being. And then we would each have our little thing. And the other thing is these two pages are going to be next to each other. So the sandbox table is a full page image. So for the next page, let's have it be in a frame. We can add the frame later, but for now we can just focus on creating the scene. So I'm going to grab the same background again. And then I want to have the kids in a circle. So let's see if we have a body for Joey that's sitting cross-legged. We don't have one, so I'll probably have to copy the body from somewhere else. This is a good one just for another kid doing the show and tell. I can't find anything that I can use for Joey sitting. So I'm thinking maybe instead I'll have him standing because maybe he's the one doing his show and tell. And so he's standing, showing his thing, and then everyone else is sitting. So I'm going to grab him and I'll bring him down here. And now all I need is a body where he can be holding something. This one actually looks like he could be holding something. So I'm going to change the colors to match, and then I'll just crop it. So I'll crop his head off and his pants because I'll just reuse his other pants. And then let's ungroup Joey so I can delete the top of his body. Let's bring his little race car up, and then I will group him all together, and we'll give him something to hold for the show and tell. But first, let's just find some other kids for the show and tell. We probably want most of them to be kind of sideways, though, because they're going to be, like, looking at him. Oh, maybe we can have them on, like, a cute rug, too. I love a cute rug. And let's add some girls in here, too. This one's good because it's from the back. I think maybe I'll just change the rug color so that it's not the same color as these pants, because those kind of blend in. I feel like I do orange and yellow for like everything, but they're really nice colors. Let's add his little show and tell thing, maybe like a dinosaur, because those are cool. There, he's holding a little dinosaur. We can also put some other show and tell things next to the other kids. What would other kids have for show and tell? Well, let's do photo album. Ooh, that's a nice one. Oh, maybe one of the girls is doing like needlepoint, and so she brings her little needlepoint thing to show. Maybe like a sketchbook. And then this kid, maybe he can have like a toy car. We want to put this into a frame. Since the page on the left is going to be a full page image, I'm going to put this one in a frame so it doesn't look like it's a spread, because that can be kind of confusing. So I'm going to find my frames that I uploaded, and I'll grab one of these, and I'll just make it as big as I need it here. That seems good. And then I'm going to make it white, and I'll fill in the rest of this part with a rectangle. And let me pull the text up. I think that's good, but this text, since I pulled it up, I'm going to want the other text to also be in line with it. So I'm going to bring a guide down and have it snap to the top of this text. And then I can just bring this text up so that it also snaps to that guide. And now they'll be lined up. And now I can remove that other guide if I go to File, Settings, and I'll unlock my guides. And I'm just going to drag this outside of the canvas. And then I'm going to lock them back. So File, Settings, Lock, Guides. Now let's go ahead and check this out in Simplebooklet. So I'll go to Share, More, Simplebooklet Flip, All Pages, Save. Here's our 2 designs that we made today. Do you have any suggestions to make the design better? Let me know in the comments. And if you're working on your own children's book, join my Creativity Club on Facebook, where we support each other and help each other reach our goals. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or as always, you can email me at heather@heathercash.com. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so I know to make more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!